Hello. In July of 1863, a Union burial detail at Gettysburg, Pennsylvania made a startling discovery near Cemetery Ridge. Among the bodies covering the ground, the wreckage of the Confederate attack during the battle. The Union found a dead woman wearing the uniform of a Confederate private. This burial detail had stumbled upon one of the most intriguing stories of the war. The multitudes of women who fought on the front line. Although the clandestine nature of the activity makes an accurate count impossible, conservative estimates of female soldiers in the Civil War puts the numbers somewhere between 400 and 750 women. Today, I will discuss one important way women contributed to the Civil War, and that's by posing as men to fight in the war. It is an accepted convention that the Civil War was a man's fight. Images of women during that conflict center on self-sacrificing nurses, romantic spies, or brave ladies maintaining the home front in the absence of their men. The men, of course, marched off to war, lived in germ-ridden camps, engaged in heinous battle, languished in appalling prison camps, and died horribly, yet heroically. The conventional picture of gender roles during the Civil War does not tell their entire story. Men were not the only ones to fight in that war. Women bore arms and charged into battle too. Like the men, there were women who lived in camp, suffered in prison, and died for their respective causes. It is perhaps hard to imagine how the women soldiers maintained the necessary deception, or even how they successfully managed to enlist. Well, it was probably very easy. In assuming the male disguise, women soldiers picked male names. Army recruiters, Northern and Southern, did not ask for proof of identity. These women padded the waist of their trousers and cut their hair short. An example is Loretta Velasquez. She wore a false mustache, developed a masculine gait, learned to smoke cigars, and padded her uniform coat to make herself look more muscular. While recruits on both sides of the conflict were theoretically subject to physical examinations, those exams were usually farcical. Most recruiters only looked for visible handicaps, such as deafness, poor eyesight, or lameness. Neither army standardized the medical exams, and those charged with performing them hardly ever ordered a recruit to strip. The roughly 750 women enlisted attest to the lax nature of physical recruitment checks. Once in the ranks, successful women soldiers probably learned to act and talk like men. With their uniforms loose and ill-fitting, and with so many underage boys in the ranks, women, especially due to their lack of physical facial hair, could pass as young men. Also, Victorian men, by and large, were modest by today's standards. Soldiers slept in their clothes, bathed in their underwear, and went as long as 6 weeks without changing their underclothes. Many refused to use the odorous and disgusting, long, open trench latrines of camp. Thus, a woman soldier would not call attention to herself if she acted modestly, trekked to the woods to answer the call of nature, and attend to other personal matters, or left camp to privately bathe in a nearby stream. Much of the information available on Civil War soldiers is found in their obituaries. Despite the fact that the U.S. Army did not acknowledge or advertise their existence, it is surprising that the women soldiers of the Civil War are not better known today. After all, their existence was known at the time and through the rest of the 19th century. The majority of historians who have written about the common soldiers of the war have ignored women in the ranks or trivialized their experience, while references, usually in passing, are sometimes found. The assumption by many respected Civil War historians is that women soldiers were eccentric and their presence isolated. Textbooks hardly ever mention these women. I'd like to note that women served as spies during the Civil War as well. Herein lies the importance of the women combatants of the Civil War. It is not their individual exploits, but the fact that they fought. While the service could not significantly alter the course of war, women soldiers deserve remembrance because their actions display them as uncommon and revolutionary, with the valid odds with Victorian views of women's proper roles. Quite simply, the women in ranks, both Union and Confederates, refused to stay in their socially mandated place, even if it meant resorting to subterfuge to achieve their goal of being soldiers. They faced not only the guns of the adversary, but the sexual prejudices of their society. The women soldiers of the Civil War merit recognition in modern American society because they were trailblazers. Women's service in the military is socially accepted today, yet modern women soldiers are still officially barred from direct combat. Since the Persian Gulf War, debate has raged over whether women are fit for combat, and the issue is still unresolved. Women soldiers of the Civil War were capable fighters. From a historical point, the women combatants of 1861 to 1865 were not just ahead of their time, they were ahead of our time. That is my conclusion, and I hope you enjoy this informative speech.